Personal log entry 847.3, Royal Guard Captain Vexathani, timestamp 142733 Galactic Standard. My claws keep scratching at the ceremonial plating on my wrist. 17 scratches now. I've been counting since the human walked into the dueling circle. Princess Zalara sits rigid on her throne, her bioluminescent crown pulsing that particular shade of violet that means she's calculating something dangerous. The entire court holds its breath. All 400 nobles with their ridiculous feathered crests and golden throat scales gleaming in the arena lights. "State your terms, human!" Champion Kethmore's voice booms across the crystalline floor. His ceremonial war paint shimmers like liquid mercury against his midnight black carapace. The human, Marcus Chen according to the diplomatic files, stands maybe half Kethmore's height. No ceremonial paint, no gleaming armor. Just that standard-issue jumpsuit the Terran Alliance seems to love and a tool belt that looks like it's seen better decades. Kethmore flexes his 4 arms. Each one could snap the human in half. Chen yawns. "Traditional rules?" Chen asks. His voice carries that flat, nasal accent that makes every human sound perpetually bored. "Death or submission?" The princess leans forward. "Death." I stop scratching my wrist. The human nods like she just asked him to pass the salt. "Fair enough. I pick weapons, though, right? Challenger's privilege and all that diplomatic nonsense?" Kethmore's mandibles click in amusement. "Choose whatever you wish, soft skin. It will not matter." Chen reaches into his tool belt, pulls out what looks like a maintenance scanner, the kind technicians use to check power conduits. The court erupts in confused chittering. "That's not a weapon," Princess Zalara says. "Isn't it?" Chen turns the scanner over in his hands like he's never seen it before. His fingers trace along edges, press buttons without purpose. The device beeps once, twice. "I mean," Chen continues, still fidgeting with the scanner, "depends on how you define weapon, doesn't it? This thing can detect structural weaknesses in just about anything. Power distribution flaws, stress fractures, design failures." He looks up at Kethmore, smiles. "Even biological ones." The champion's laugh rumbles through the arena like distant thunder. "You plan to scan me to death, you human?" "Something like that." The princess raises one delicate claw. "Begin." Timestamp 142807. Kethmore charges. 2 tons of muscle and bone and ancient Ketherian warrior pride thunder across the arena floor. His lower arms spread wide, upper arms raised for a killing blow that could punch through ship plating. Chen doesn't move. He's still holding that scanner, still pushing buttons. Beep, beep, beep. Kethmore covers 30 meters in less than 3 seconds. His war cry splits the air, the traditional death song of champions going back 5,000 years. Chen takes 1 step to the left. Kethmore's momentum carries him straight into the arena wall. The crystal cracks. Dust rains down from the vaulted ceiling. The human is behind him now, close enough to touch. "Huh," Chen says, studying his scanner. "Your left rear leg's got a microfracture in the tibia. Must be old. Probably from when you were a juvenile. Bad nutrition, maybe? Or just genetic predisposition." Kethmore spins. All 4 arms lash out in a coordinated strike pattern that should have turned the human into paste. Chen ducks under the first swing, slides between the champion's legs, taps something on the scanner. Yep, definitely a weak point. See, the thing about Ketherian bone density is that it's all about the calcium silicate matrix alignment. You get that wrong during the growth phase and you're basically walking around with built-in failure points. Kethmore's foot comes down where Chen was standing. Chen is 5 meters away, still reading his scanner. "Fascinating stuff, really. Your people evolved on a heavy-gravity world, right? So your bones compensated by developing this incredibly dense structure. But that density comes with a trade-off. Less flexibility, more brittleness under specific stress loads." The champion charges again. And this time he's ready for the human speed. He feints left, swings right, uses his reach advantage to corner Chen against the arena barrier. Chen rolls under his guard, pops up behind him. For example, Chen continues like he's giving a lecture to engineering students, if you apply rotational stress to that micro-fractured tibia while simultaneously hyperextending the joint past its natural flexibility threshold. He reaches out, touches Kethmore's leg with one finger, and the champion's bone snaps like dry timber. Kethmore's roar of pain and rage shakes dust from the ceiling. He stumbles, catches himself, swings wildly with his upper arms. Chen is already moving, still talking. Now your balance is compromised. Weight distribution's all wrong. That puts extra stress on your right shoulder joint, which, according to my readings here, already shows signs of repetitive strain damage. Probably from all that sword work, right? Kethmore lunges. Chen steps aside. Reaches out. Another snap. The champion's right upper arm hangs useless. The beautiful thing about anatomy, Chen says, checking his scanner again, is that everything's connected. Break one support structure and the whole system starts cascading toward failure. Kethmore is panting now. Bioluminescent blood drips from his mandibles, where he's bitten through them in pain. He's still standing on 3 good legs, still has 2 functional arms. I still outweighs Chen by about 1,500 pounds. You fight without honor, Kethmore snarls. I fight to win. Chen adjusts something on his scanner. The device emits a different tone now, higher pitched, almost musical. You know what I love about maintenance work? You spend so much time learning how things break that you start seeing failure points everywhere. In machines, in buildings, in people. He looks up at the champion, still smiling that flat, human smile. In warrior caste genetic modifications, Kethmore's eyes widen. What? Oh, you didn't know? Your royal family's been tweaking their champion bloodlines for centuries. Enhanced muscle density, improved reaction times, redundant cardiovascular systems, really impressive biotechnology. Chen taps his scanner. But here's the thing about enhancement. It always comes with exploits. The device in his hands is singing now, a complex harmonic pattern that makes my inner ears itch. See? When you modify an organism's natural resonance frequencies, you create interference patterns. And if you know exactly which frequency to broadcast, the sound from Chen's scanner shifts. Drops into a bass register that I can feel in my bones. Kethmore screams, not in rage this time, in agony. His enhanced muscles are vibrating against each other. The carefully engineered improvements that should have made him unstoppable are tearing themselves apart from the inside. He falls to his knees, and then to his side. Chen walks over, kneels down beside the fallen champion. The funny thing is, he says quietly, I really am just a maintenance tech. Marcus Chen, engineering corps, 3rd class. But humans, we don't really believe in fair fights. He looks up at Princess Zalara. She's gripping the arms of her throne so hard her claws have left gouges in the crystal. We believe in winning. Timestamp 1431:54. Champion Kethmore is still breathing, still alive. But his body won't obey him anymore. The resonance frequency has disrupted his nervous system's connection to his enhanced musculature. He might recover in a few hours, or he might not. Chen stands, dusts off his jumpsuit. So, he says to the princess, about those territorial concessions your empire wanted to discuss. My claws start scratching at my wrist plating again. In end log entry, personal log entry 847.4, Royal Guard Captain Vexithani, timestamp 1432:15 Galactic Standard. 23 scratches now. Princess Zalara hasn't moved from her throne. Her bioluminescent crown has shifted to that deep amber that means she's processing information faster than normal Cytherian neural networks can handle. The court nobles are chittering among themselves in voices so low they sound like insects in the walls. Chen picks up his scanner. He clips it back to his tool belt like nothing happened. "Princess," he says, "we should probably talk." "You used treachery," she whispers. Her voice carries across the silent arena. "Deception, technology as a weapon. I used engineering. Guards. I don't move. Can't move. My duty is to protect the princess, but something about the way Chen is standing there, relaxed, hands at his sides, that same flat expression, tells me that calling guards would be a mistake. A big one. Princess," Chen says again. His voice hasn't changed. Still that bored, nasal human tone. "We really should talk. Privately. You defeated our champion through trickery. I defeated your champion because you don't understand what humans do." Chen interrupts. "You think we fight like you fight. Honor duels, single combat, warrior against warrior in a fair contest." He gestures at Kethmore's still form. "So we don't do fair." The princess's crown flickers through color spectrums, violet to amber to deep red, decision-making algorithms running at combat speed. "Explain." Chen reaches into his tool belt again. This time he pulls out what looks like a standard data pad. Military issue. Nothing special about it. "How many humans are on this station right now?" he asks. 3. "Your diplomatic mission." 47. The princess's claws extend involuntarily. "That's impossible." "Our sensors." "Your sensors detect what they're programmed to detect. Human biosignatures, Terran Alliance ship configurations, standard diplomatic protocols." Chen holds up the data pad. "They don't detect maintenance workers, cleaning crews, food service technicians, medical assistants." My wrist plating is getting gouged to scrap under my claws. "The human who requested this duel," Chen continues, "Ambassador Williams? He's not even here. That was Lieutenant Shaw in a biosynthetic skin suit. She's probably back on our ship right now, filing reports." "But the security scanners registered exactly what we wanted them to register. See, while your champion was preparing for honorable single combat, my team was installing resonance amplifiers in your station's superstructure, tapping into your communication networks, mapping your defense systems." Chen taps something on his data pad. The arena's lighting dims for half a second, then returns to normal. "That was just a test pulse. I want to see what a full-power broadcast can do to enhanced Catherian neurology." Princess Zalara is silent for 10 seconds. 15. Her crown cycles through the entire visible spectrum before settling on a deep blue that I've never seen before. "How long?" she asks. "How long what? How long have you been preparing for this?" Chen checks his data pad. "This specific operation? About 6 months. But we've been studying Catherian combat doctrine for 3 years. Ever since your empire started expanding into the Outer Rim territories." He looks up at her, still smiling. "You want to know the really interesting part? Your ancestors' combat philosophy is actually brilliant. Honorable single combat eliminates the need for massive fleet actions, reduces casualties, preserves infrastructure. Very elegant." "Then why?" "Because it only works if both sides follow the same rules." Chen walks closer to the throne. His boots echo on the crystal floor. None of the guards move to stop him. We're all too busy trying to understand what's happening. "Humans don't follow rules, Princess. We study them, learn them, figure out how to break them." He stops at the base of the throne's steps. "For example, your champion enhancement programs. Fascinating biotechnology. Really impressive genetic work. But here's what your scientists didn't consider. Enhanced organisms create enhanced failure modes." The data pad in his hands chirps softly. And Chen glances at it. "Oh, that's interesting. Looks like Ambassador Williams, Lieutenant Shaw, has finished uploading our sensor data to the Alliance Fleet Command. Your station's defense grid, troop positions, resource allocation. All of it. Princess Zalara's breathing changes, faster, shallower. "What do you want?" she asks. "Nothing dramatic. Just a minor adjustment to your empire's expansion plans. Maybe pull back from the Terran border regions. Oh, stop raiding our civilian trade routes. Standard diplomatic stuff." "And if we refuse," Chen shrugs, "then next week, when your empire demands another honor duel to settle territorial disputes, we'll send Specialist Rodriguez. She's our explosives expert, very creative with shaped charges." He pauses. "Or maybe Corporal Kim. He specializes in biological warfare. Really likes to experiment with enhanced immune systems." My claws have worn through to the dermal layer under my wrist plating. A blue bioluminescent blood drips onto the arena floor. "You would wage war through assassination," the princess says. "We'd wage war through engineering." Chen checks his datapad again. "Actually, we probably wouldn't need to send anyone. See, while we've been talking, my team has been uploading some modifications to your station's environmental systems. Nothing harmful, just some efficiency improvements. The arena's air circulation changes pitch, barely noticeable. Your atmospheric processors now respond to Terran Alliance command codes. Your artificial gravity generators have some new safety protocols. Your fusion reactors are running updated control software." Chen looks up from his datapad. "We're not conquerors, Princess. We're maintenance techs. And right now, your entire empire is running on our maintenance schedule." Princess Zalara stands slowly. Her crown has shifted to pure white, a color I've only seen in the historical records. Ancient Catherian war leaders wore white when they knew defeat was inevitable. "What happens now?" she asks. "Now? We have a conversation about mutual cooperation, trade agreements, maybe some technology sharing, standard diplomatic stuff." Chen clips his datapad back to his tool belt. "Oh, and Princess, next time your empire wants to settle disputes through single combat, you might want to check who's volunteering to fight." He turns to leave. Stops. Because humans don't send warriors to duels, we send problem solvers." Timestamp, 1437-42. The princess is still standing by her throne. The court nobles have gone completely silent. Even Kethmore has stopped groaning. Chen walks toward the arena exit like he's heading back to shift rotation. I finally stop scratching my wrist. 31 gouges in the ceremonial plating. I think I'm going to start drinking again. End log entry. Personal log entry 847.5. Royal Guard Captain Vexathani. Timestamp 1842-11 Galactic Standard. I'm in my quarters now. Standard military flask in one claw. The good stuff from my homeworld. Burns like plasma fire going down. Princess Zalara dismissed the court 3 hours ago. No ceremony, no formal announcements. She just stood there in her white crown and said, "Leave." 400 years of Catherian royal protocol. Gone. Or Chen left with the same casual walk he'd arrived with. Tool belt jangling, datapad secured. Like he'd just finished replacing a faulty power coupling instead of dismantling an empire's military doctrine. The flask is half empty already. Timestamp, 1843-55. My door chimes. Royal summons tone. I put down the flask, check my uniform. The ceremonial plating on my wrist looks like I've been in a knife fight. Princess Zalara stands in my doorway. No crown, no royal guards. Just her personal bioluminescence casting patterns on the corridor walls. "May I come in, Captain?" I've served the royal family for 20 years. She's never asked permission for anything. "Of course, Highness." She enters, sits in the chair across from my desk like she's done it 1,000 times. Her luminescence has dimmed to almost nothing, the Catherian equivalent of exhaustion. "Tell me what you observed today," she says. The human defeated champion Kethmore through technological exploitation of enhanced biological systems." "No." Her voice is quiet. "Tell me what you really observed." I think about that. Take a sip from my flask. "The human never intended to fight," I say finally. "The entire duel was Theater. Continue. He was studying us, learning. While we prepared for single combat, he was preparing for something else entirely. Princess Zalara nods. What else? His team. 47 humans on our station, and we detected 3. That's not just advanced technology, that's... I struggle for the words. That's thinking differently, about everything. And? I set down the flask. Highness, I don't think they consider us enemies. Her bioluminescence flickers. Explain. Enemies would have destroyed us, conquered us, taken our territory and resources. Instead, they gave us a demonstration, like a warning, that we're vulnerable, that we're thinking about warfare wrong. Princess Zalara is silent for long minutes. Her luminescence cycles through deep blues and purples, the colors of profound contemplation. The human said something interesting, she says finally, about humans not sending warriors to duels. Problem solvers. Yes, she looks at me. Captain, what do you know about human military organization? I access my data implants. Standard hierarchical command structure. At ground forces, naval forces, specialized corps, similar to our own military in most respects. Read deeper, historical records, pre-contact intelligence reports. I dig through the files. Most of it is standard military analysis, but there are some older reports, fragments from the early contact missions. Here, I say, intelligence assessment from first contact protocols. Human military forces show unusual integration of non-combat specialties. Engineering personnel carry weapons. Combat units perform technical functions. Distinction between military and civilian roles appears fluid. Princess Zalara nods. What does that suggest to you? That they don't separate functions the way we do. A human engineer is also a potential warrior. A human warrior is also a potential technician. And a human maintenance worker? I understand now. Is also a potential saboteur, a spy, a weapons specialist. Chen wasn't unusual, Captain. He was typical. I reach for my flask again. I take a longer drink. Highness, with respect, this changes everything. Our entire military doctrine, our understanding of warfare, our expansion policies. Yes. The other noble houses won't understand. They'll demand retribution. Honor requires... Honor, Princess Zalara interrupts. Requires adaptation. She stands. Walks to my quarters viewport. The human ship is still docked at our primary airlock. Looks harmless. Standard diplomatic vessel. Captain, I'm reassigning you. My blood goes cold. Highness? You're going to the human ship. As my personal representative. I want you to learn everything you can about how they think, how they approach problems, how they prepare for conflicts we don't even know we're in. You want me to spy on them? I want you to ask them to teach you. I nearly dropped my flask. What? Princess Zalara turns back to me. Her bioluminescence has shifted to a warm gold, the color of new possibilities. Chen didn't come here to humiliate us, Captain. He came to educate us. The demonstration in the arena wasn't cruelty. It was... She pauses, searching for words. A lesson. A very expensive lesson about the nature of modern warfare. And you think they'll be willing to teach us more? I think they've been trying to teach us all along. We just weren't listening. She moves toward the door. Stops. Captain, pack for an extended assignment, and leave your ceremonial armor here. Where you're going, function matters more than form. Timestamp, 1915-33. Princess Zalara leaves. I sit in my quarters, staring at the human ship through my viewport, thinking about problem solvers and maintenance technicians and the way Chen smiled when he talked about failure points. Somewhere on that ship, Marcus Chen is probably writing his own report. Mission accomplished. Objectives met, no casualties, minimal damage, maximum education. I finish my flask, start packing civilian clothes. Or tomorrow, I'm going to ask a human to teach me how to break things. Timestamp, 1947-18. Before I sleep, I make one final log entry. The humans didn't challenge us to a duel today. They challenged us to evolve. End personal log sequence. Captain Vex Thani, Royal Guard Corps. Supplemental entry. Classification, Royal Archive. For the historical record, Princess Zalara's diplomatic reforms began with Treaty Amendment 2847.3, the first formal technology-sharing agreement between the Catherian Empire and the Terran Alliance. The treaty established joint training programs, integrated research initiatives, and mutual defense protocols. The Empire's transition from warrior caste traditions to adaptive military doctrine would take 3 generations to complete. Champion Kethmore recovered full neurological function after 6 months of rehabilitation. He now serves as Director of Enhanced Biology Research at the Joint Military Academy. Marcus Chen was promoted to Chief Engineering Officer and assigned to the newly formed Human-Catherian Integration Task Force. He still carries a maintenance scanner, just in case.